which he must build in 2025.
Nothing but positives.
Yeah.
Big chunk of money, great tournament, had the fans on side. He was, in my opinion, the mentally strongest I've ever seen him. And I don't know what's clicked over the last 3 or 4 weeks for Callan, but it was fabulous to see him play the way he did and the way he responded to little bits of adversity, like a dart on the floor or a missed dart for a set. The thing is, Mace was right. He had 2 darts to win set 1. He came back, he won set 2. About 6 months ago, if he's in that same situation, he's probably losing 5-0. Yeah. So something's worked. Use that disappointment to say to yourself, I can do that against the best player of this generation who's won 3 of these. There is nothing to say that I can't do it at another event in the future, whether it's a match play or a European Tour event, but it's got to start on the floor. Chris Dobey did it at the start of 2024. He said, I've got to figure out my floor form. Callan's got to do the same because he knows that the stage stuff is already there.
Me and Nico see these guys at the absolute ultimate, where they can perform at their optimum level. So we know when we say I think he can win this match, it's not based on I walk past a sign that's like rhymed with rids or something, I don't know, lids or Lidl or something like that, right? We watch these guys perform in an environment which allows them to show us where their ceiling is. So when we see people like Callan, that's what frustrates us, because we know this kid is unbelievable.
Well, let us give you a statistical bit of proof about that. Callan Rids has a personal best average of 117. So does Gerwen Price. So is there any reason why he can't be better than Gezi Price?
Yeah. Correct.
Mind you, MVG looked good, didn't he? Pushed all the way, but how he responded to being pushed, right?
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like, we have had no evidence to suggest that he could handle that. Whatever he has done in the last 3 weeks since the Players' Championships, I want some of it. I want some of that practice. Like, I want to know what's going on in his mind, because the last 18 months for him has been raw. It's been nasty. It's hurt him. I've seen him. I've spoke to him, and he was hurt. This is a guy that dominated our sport, that's losing in first rounds, that's hitting 90 averages. And I know Vincent van der Voort would have had a part of this, although Vincent's not going to have a tour card next year, but them two are like that. They both got bent fingers, right? And Vincent is a taskmaster, and I know he said to him, right, we need to, them two are a team. Yeah. We need to knuckle down. We need to find out what's wrong and put it right. And they've done that. Whatever they've done, this isn't a coincidence. This isn't like all of a sudden Michael's back, because the throw's still wrong, but they've adapted and they've worked with it, and it's incredible to watch.
Well, Michael van Gerwen against Chris Dobey will be one of the 2 semi-finals. I haven't sorted out the schedule yet as to whether that'll be the first or the second semi-final tomorrow. I should let you know, both the semi-finals and the final will be live on talkSPORT. We will move to talkSPORT tomorrow night from 7 p.m. for the 2 semi-finals, and on Friday for the final, again from 7 p.m, and we'll have loads of build-up on the Friday. We'll talk about the 2 finalists, whoever they may be. We'll talk about Premier League picks, because that's
we'll let you know who's in the Premier League. Yeah,
we'll hopefully have more of a steer on that by the time we get to Friday. We'll try and speak to, we normally try and get a word with Matt Porter, the CEO of the PDC, and much more besides. But for now, we must get the odds ahead of tonight's quarterfinals. 2 to come, and we always get the odds from our good friends at William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with official betting partner William Hill. Get
£5 free bet offer. If you have a £5 or more on any darts market, evens or bigger, you'll get a £5 free bet to use on the arrows this evening. You've got to opt in, online only at williamhill.com on the app. Fascinating chat in the studio about the quarterfinals this afternoon. These two tonight should be something special. Stephen Bunting fancied to beat Peter Wright. He's 1-2 to win the match. Peter Wright's in the betting at 8-5. He's of course averaging 96 to Wright's 92 in the championship so far. We know that Wright knocked out the defending champion and world number 1 Luke Humphries. I think he got into Humphries' head a little bit. Bunting's been way more consistent over the past 12 months. Wright's not going to be pinging 70% on the doubles again. I like Bunting -1.5 on the handicap betting personally at 4-5, and I do like 5-2 and 5-3 Bunting at 4-1 and 5-1 respectively. And then the headline match this evening is Luke Littler versus Nathan Aspinall. Littler is odds on to win the championship at 10-11. He's 1-7 to beat Aspinall this evening, who's 9-2 in the market. Luke Littler, of course, tested against Ryan Joyce, but averaged over 100 in that match and showed his mettle to come through. The 9-dart finish for Littler, it's what everyone's waiting for. It's been back this evening. It's in from 9-1 to 8-1. I think the scoring power is just going to be that little bit too much for Aspinall, who's only averaged 94 in the championship so far. I see a big performance coming from Littler. I like under 21.5 total 180s because I think this match will be short. And I like Littler on the handicap as well, -3.5 sets at even money, but it should be a fascinating evening of arrows at Ali Pali.
Dave, thank you very much. As you've been speaking there, I've been looking across at Chris Mason, who's gone through the whole gamut of emotions listening to those odds. Some incredulous, some nodding your head. Where are you agreeing and disagreeing there, Mace?
There's a pattern, and you've only got to look at MVG every round. Improvement. Peter Wright started with an 89, knocked in a 96, knocked in a 99 against the number 1 in the world and defending champion. I think he's got another gear in him. I think he can go up to 104, 105. I think Wright at 6-4 is enormous, right? I think it's huge. Bunty is, although he's a former world champion, but in a totally different environment. He's averaged 92. He had the 100 against Rasma, and then 96. He's not had a test yet. No one's pushed him. I think Wright is going to test him up. They've got 18-12 in terms of head-to-head in favour of Peter Wright. As for Luke Littler, I think he runs through Aspinall. Aspinall's averages just do not match up against Littler's numbers in every metric we look at. I'm going Littler -3.5 sets at 11-8.
Go on, Dave, quickly. You want to respond to that?
No, I think lovely stuff on the Littler bet. I think Littler will win the match and win the match easily. And we know he started with big numbers and big scores. That 180 in his first throw of each and every leg, setting up that possible 9-darter. I think it will come in the championship for Littler. It's just a matter of when.
I'm with you on the 9. I think it's going to go.
I think that's a fair bet.
Yeah. All right, Dave, thank you very much indeed. Those are all the very latest odds, thanks to our good friends at William Hill. Get epic value all tournament with William Hill. It's 18+, and the website you need to check out is begambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with official betting partner William Hill, giving you the tools for positive play. Take time to think and know your limits. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Go on, Mace, you wanted to add something further to that?
Can you imagine 10 years ago it's going 8-1's a good price on a 9?
Ridiculous.
Is it?
Absolutely ridiculous.
It literally blows my mind that we're going, actually, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be,
tempt you in.
It used to be 100 odd,
yeah,
like 125 to 1 for a 9, 151 for a 9. And we're going, oh, that. Me and Nicho's look at each other going, 8-1. Because we both think it's going to go tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Well, and we were wondering earlier, Nico and I, when we were commentating on the Dovey match this afternoon, whether other sponsors, other tournaments might look at this incentive where a 9-darter earns 60k for the player, 60k for a charity, 60k for a random member of the audience. Might be something that becomes a template that's used elsewhere.
I worked out today, it's almost 1.2 million that the sponsors have given away, and most of it to charity, by the way,
yes,
and fans, which is incredible. But it just shows you, like, we're expecting a third. Me and Nico at the start of the tournament said, we think there'll be 3 9-darters, didn't we? And credit to the sponsors, everybody benefits.
Yes,
it's unbelievable.
It is, isn't it? Well,
it's a jinx, by the way, because if you hit it, you lose.
That's very true. The curse of the 9 darts has been evident here because Christian Kist and Damon Heta have both hit the perfect leg and both gone out.
I'll take 9-10s and be 3 sets up, personally.
Yeah, well, there you go. Play it safe. Play the percentages, eh, Mason? Didn't work for Bristow in '83, but there we go. Anyway, last thoughts about Bunty, the people's champion, they call him. Mace, a much-loved guy.
Bunting. Who I think is going to win is not a reflection on how much I like a player or not. I've got no dog in the race. You know, it's literally based on what we've seen and the look about Peter Wright. I think he could win this tournament. And if you said to me 3 weeks ago, if I said to Nico, well, our first podcast we did, Aces and Arrows, right? Yep. If I'd have looked at Nico and go, he goes, who are you picking to win the tournament? I went, Peter Wright. He goes, you're bonkers, mate. Because there was no evidence that his game was in a place to even get him to this stage. But the guy's special. I'm
going to say this very early because I thoroughly believe this, and this is on the record. If Peter Wright wins this World Championship, the 2026 World Champion will be Gary Anderson. Because remember when Gary was eliminated by Michael van Gerwen in 2014? He was miffed by it so much that he went and won the next 2. He made the next 3 finals and lost to Michael in 2017. But if Peter Wright gets to 3 world titles and Gary's on 2,
Gary won't.
That will galvanise him like never before.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
He's so proud to be a 2-time the same as Peter Wright. If someone else trumps him on that, because that will overtake jockey, of course.
Yes.
And that's a place in history of our sport. I'm with Nico. I think that would be the driver to make Gary go, right, forget about the lakes, forget about the family, forget about the kids. I got to win another one.
Yeah, January 4th.
He'll be on the phone to Ryan Searle saying, getting that practice.
No, he'll build Ryan Searle a house right next to the fishing lakes and say, you're moving in, son.
Yeah. It should be a tweet from Gary Anderson on January the 4th if Wrighty's world champion. Watch this.
Mace, thank you very much for the time being. Chris Mason. We'll be back with Mark Wilson for our last quarter-final. Luke Littler against Nathan Aspinall, which comes up at the conclusion of the quarter-final that's about to get underway. Our Master of Ceremonies, John McDonald, is ready to introduce the 2 from Scotland, 1 from England, who are going to contest this last 8 contests. Will it be Bunty or will it be Snakebite that gets through to the semi-finals? We're about to find out here on your home of Darts on the Radio, talkSPORT 2. And remember, Darts on the Radio is the hashtag you can use to get in touch with us on socials.
Alexandra Palace, London! Quarter-final stages of the Paddy Power World Darts Championship, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. And now, ladies and gentlemen, taking part in the 16th World Championship, the winner of 48 PDC titles worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, a 2-time World Cup champion and a 2-time champion of the world. Let's get this party started. Snake Peter.
Many more because of the power of the driver, but this one could be Snake Bunt.
World Championship quarterfinal.
You've thought that one through.
The reigning Masters champion. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the winner of the Lakeside, the Bullet, Stephen Bunting!
A handshake and a hug between the two. There was a little bit of needle coming from Peter Wright, mostly saying, is Stephen Bunting really the most popular man at this tournament? He was saying it was him, but as he said, and as we've discussed on our Aces and Arrows podcast, a lot of what Peter Wright says is purely for self-motivation rather than necessarily to get under his opponent's skin.
That's true. Peter's the kind of player that he goes inward, and then to be outward, he puts on the mohawk, he puts on the shirt, he picks up the darts, and he becomes Snakebite. Peter Wright and Snakebite are two very different things. What an anthemic night this is, because you've got Snakebite, you've got the Bullet, you've got Littler, and you've got Aspinall, four of the best tracks in the sport, four of the best players in the sport. It's all talkSPORT 2 tonight, but only two will stand at the end of these two games. And this one, speaking to people backstage, Dance, we can't call it. The only thing I've heard over the last couple of days coming into this is going to be 9 sets of darts. And we're not going to say no to that.
Absolutely. Well, Peter Wright knocked out the reigning champion Luke Humphries in the round of 16, and there weren't many experts in the sport, odds compilers, pundits, who saw that coming at all. But Peter Wright went back to the darts that made him a world champion before. And we should mention this for the uninitiated, that Peter Wright is the Tinkerman with the tungsten. He changes his flights, his stems, his barrels almost on a whim. Sometimes during a leg, never mind between sets. And I'm not sure whether he's using those same traditional darts tonight. And Stephen Bunting used to throw the lightest darts on the PDC Tour, but they're double the weight now. And he looks almost twice the player. As he gets things underway, Bunting with his black and red dart shirt, Peter Wright with splashes of colour all over his dart shirt in a sort of abstract formation.
That's one way to put it, Dance. Honestly, it looks like he's been hanging out with Tony Hart.
He does, yeah. And not had an apron on. So Bunting, who stands right at the right-hand corner of the oche and flings his darts in from that right-hand side into the board, against Wright, who's got the long, slender darts with the kite flights. Seems to me. 84. Are those the darts he won with against Humphries? They're not, are they? Are they?
They're exactly the same. Might be a slightly different coloured flight, but the construction of it is exactly the same. It's a moulded, 95. Ribbed flight. These are the ones he used when he won the World Championship on January the 1st, 2020. He will forever be known as the first world champion of sport in the 2020s, because nobody beat him to that. And the worrying thing for Bunting is that the balance of that dart that Wright is using is the one that suits him best. But here comes Stephen with his first 140 of the match to leave 111. Wright will be on a finish after this. He starts on 217.
Remember, it's a race to get to 5 sets first. 5 legs in a set, best of 9. So you get to 5, then you are through to the semi-finals, which will be best of 11 sets tomorrow night, live on talkSPORT. Bunting trying to lay up for a finish, which he's done, to double 16, but Wright wants 117 to break the throw at the get-go.
Looking for the treble 20 and gets a big one, just about 1.5 centimetres north. And you can already hear on talkSPORT 2 the gap in the thuds. If you were listening this afternoon with Rids and Van Gerwen, this one is slower paced, but both will be okay with that. And Bunting's okay with hitting double 16 to take the first leg of the contest. And the one thing that this fixture brings up, Dance, for me, is their first ever meeting. It was back in 2013. There was a lot made of it by the broadcaster that's actually covering this event, because at the UK Open in Bolton, when it was back then, Peter Wright was just starting to come up to the boil when it came to the snakebite character. And he was drawn against Stephen Bunting on one of the outer boards. And at the time, Bunting was the best player in the BDO. And Peter said, "Don't worry, I'll sort him out." And he did, by 9 legs to 2. They've been playing each other ever since. But boy, have they had some battles.
Including at last year's, well, it is last year now, isn't it? 2024, the Masters, where Bunting, who went on to win, knocked out Snakebite in the quarterfinals. And the Masters is now called the Winmau World Masters. Field has been expanded to 24, and it is now a ranking tournament officially.
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating at the end of the month. It's going to be a great deal of darts between now and that Winmau World Masters. Q School in Germany, in Kalka. That's in just a few days for the Europeans. And the British-based Q School, that will take place in less than 2 weeks. 130 here for Peter Snakebite Wright, the number 17 seed. He's got 80 points, isn't going to go for the bull because he doesn't have to. He's going to go single 18 to lead double 16, and he just about gets the 18. It's right on the wire.
So Bunting back on 205. That's a great first dart, right in the red bit, follows it up, and then comes downstairs, looks for treble 15. Got 4 o'clock on the ball, but just hits a single. Wright, though, wants double 16, same as Bunting did in the first leg. Outside this time, we can hear whose side the crowd is on. Pins it there, Peter Wright. Definitely the majority of this Ali Pali crowd are on Bunty's side. So is Luke Humphries, apparently. The man who Peter Wright beat. Stephen Bunting revealed in his press conference after his win that Luke wants him to lift the trophy. Well, he's ahead on maximums. There's your first of the night.
Everyone's got to pick a favourite, haven't they? As this game is starting to come to the boil in set number 1. With its first maximum from Bunting in red. Honestly, this game's like bargain hunt. You got 1 in blue, 1 in red.
Kind of blue. It's blue and everything else. The chance for a perfect 9-dart leg has gone.
42.
And in fact, the first 3 darts after that, 180. Bit of a bag of nails from Stephen Bunting, just 42 scored. George Noble, you heard calling out the scores there, our esteemed match referee.
Well, there's your proof. It's definitely going to be 9 sets now. George Noble is noted for having long matches. Get comfortable, everybody. Wherever you are listening to talkSPORT 2, whether it's at home on your smart speaker, get comfortable in the car, or the truck, or the train. Wherever you are, get comfortable. This one is going to last a while.
Or if you've got the laptop out and you're watching us on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel right now, we've got interviews with top players and darts content from across the talkSPORT network, along with these live watch-alongs. That's all thanks to the new Top Trumps Darts Legends game. Bunting in this third leg, trying to get it down to a finish from 139. 87 scored, leaving him on 52. But Wright with a chance to break, an outside chance. 156 is the outshot. Needs 2 treble 20s for double 18, and it won't go because his first dart drifts left into treble 5.
Peter just confirming with George Noble what he's got left here. He's not really sure what to do. A little bit of indecision there from Peter, who goes for treble 19, then for treble 16, but gets treble 8. So he leaves 60. It's not the worst shot in the world, but Bunting is now going for 52.
Well, I'm assuming it's 12 tops for Bunting rather than 20 double 16. 20 double 16 it is. And as with the first leg, he only needs 1 dart at double 16, Stephen Bunting, to make it 2-1 in legs in this first set on talkSPORT 2.
This is such a good head-to-head. That match I mentioned back in 2013, by the way, Peter won that 9-2. But then Stephen would actually go on a bit of a rampage against Snakebite after that when he joined the PDC. And like it was mentioned by Mace, they've actually met 30 times. It's 18-12 to Snakebite. But they've had a draw as well when they played in Premier League darts. And I think, personally, that Stephen Bunting will be announced as a Premier League player next week, because they are going to announce that on Monday. That's something we found out today.
140.
I think Bunting's done enough to get there. I think he deserves a shot. He's been there prior, but I think he's more equipped this time round. As for Wright, ... not sure.
134.
Winning the thing wouldn't do him any harm. Let's put it that way.
Well, if he wins it, he's definitely in.
Yeah.
If he gets to the final, he's in. Make the semis, up for debate.
Wright is number 17 seed at these championships. Bunting is the 8th seed. 2.59 right in this fourth leg. Bunting trying to break the throw, is slightly ahead. Might get down to a finish from 2.27 here. Well, he has. 1.67's the second biggest outshot on the board. But he will get a look at it in just a moment.
It's leg number 4. Wright had the darts here. No sign of panic, even though Bunting is firmly the better player. On a finish of 1.67. This is after 9 darts. Doesn't have to take it out. He's got the 60. Maybe a good thing he didn't get the 57 there, because the temptation was stripped from him. So he leaves double 14 to win the set by 3 legs to 1. Nothing Wright can do, but there'll be no panic here because Bunting through first in set 1, and will have the darts in the odd-numbered sets.
So he's 100% so far on his doubles, 2 from 2. What about double 14? Yep, 3 from perfection in the outer ring from Stephen Bunting, and the man from St Helens takes an early lead and whips the crowd up just a little bit more. Not that it needed whipping up any further. And Peter Wright, conqueror of Luke Humphries, is behind in this quarter-final at Ali Pali. Set 2 on the way next on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2.
talkSPORT 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier.
Two brilliant quarterfinals to bring you tonight from the PDC World Championship as we look to crown the first sporting champion of 2025. Later on, Luke Littler will take on Nathan Aspinall. Right now, Stephen Bunting leads Stephen Wright, Snakebite Wright, by a set to love. In the tea time matches, Arsenal at Brentford to go back second in the table behind runaway Liverpool. And in the champion battle of sides on the northeast coast, scored a 93rd minute winner for a 1-0 success at Hull City in the championship, and that puts Middlesbrough back up into the playoff positions. No playoffs in the dark. At least not anymore. They used to be in the Premier League, didn't they? Used to be a little playoff on Judgment Night.
We still have the... They actually call it the playoffs. It's a bit of a really. But, yeah, for me, it's just the finals, because you have the semi-finals and the final. It's 3 night. It's a very, very big occasion in 2024 when Luke Little and Danter against Humphries in the final. Great Premier League finals night that. But nothing compares to quarter-final day at Ali. This afternoon was special. Tonight, we've started with Bunting averaging 105 in the first set. Oh.
Absolute perfection, and he only allowed Peter Wright 2 darts at a double himself. But he 50% on his. Ready for the second set. Peter Wright will get us underway then with the colour of the mohawk, kind of a royal to navy blue fade
with cobalt.
Oh, that's a good word. Cobalt blue. Sounds better when you say it.
More times as the night goes on, but only... I've already been a jinx this week.
60.
Well, you know, cobalt, magnetic metals.
I do now. Every day's a school day.
Steel, iron, and nickel, which is actually found 41 in a lot of barrels with tungsten. That's the reason I know that.
Paul Nicholson does it again. Bunting looks for a 140 and gets it. Sometimes when he gets the grouping right in the treble 20 bed, the 3 darts, the points of each dart are right next to each other.
Yeah,
spectacularly
it's like
good.
them together, like that T1000 from Terminator
54.
2. Yeah. They are not 3 darts anymore, they're moulded together as one. And that's why he's so dangerous. He's with dart 1 there. He had the option to top, and he probably could have hit the treble 20. But instead he gets 2 small 19s, and there's a bit of a hush about Ali Pali right now. I think this audience is split in who to support. They wanted to get involved in the walk-ons. They're both hugely popular players. But when 2 popular icons of the sport go ahead, fans get confused.
We shouldn't forget that Peter Wright was suffering a chest infection just after Christmas on the 27th when he played Jermaine Wattimena, won by 4 sets to 2. He's a little better now, it seems, but
125.
he didn't have any problems dispatching Luke Humphries, let's face it. 1 winner in that match, a couple of nights on from his win against Wattimena. Bunting trying to set up a finish from 103, but Peter Wright to hold throw at the start of this second. Yeah,
he needs to get something going here. 15 darts thrown by both players on 2 darters. Snakebite's got double 13. He shifts to the right-hand side of the hockey. He fares brilliantly. That's a really good take from Peter. It's only an 18 dart, but it that he starts with the first chalk mark of set 2.
And he's also taken out a relatively
60.
unusual double in 13s, which is around about 2 dartboard, not one that is regularly practiced by your average PDC professional.
Statistically speaking, double 13 is the second
57.
least hit behind double 17.
Oh, double 17.
Yeah, 3s tends to be used when you break down double 12, double 6, and you can find yourself on the trapdoor double, as we call it, because there's trouble down there.
There is.
But double 13 is only really used on some obscure leaves like 81 if you get the treble 12. Oh, Peter Wright has changed to a different stem and flight combination. Short in carbon with a more luminescent flight. Interesting.
This is what he does. This is what Peter Wright does. Change his equipment in the blink of an eye. And there wasn't necessarily any pointer to him changing equipment because he won that leg with double 13.
Well, he's maybe more in tune with atmospherics than any
60.
dart player that's ever lived. I think he's tried every set of darts that's ever been created. But it's not only a change of stem and flight here, there's actually a change of with a little bit of grip towards the top of it, and they're black in nature. So he's felt something that he thinks needs tweaking, maybe a bit of extra speed through the air, because that's what you get with shorter stems.
At this point, I'm surprised Peter Wright isn't walking on stage with a flight case that you'd be big enough to keep a guitar in with all these darts.
Don't give him any
Flight
ideas.
stems. Well, yeah. Bunting 101 to level things up. Wants double 16 again. It's perfect. 3 times he's hit double 16 with his first dart on the outer ring, and it's 1 apiece in set 2 with Bunting 1-0. It's first to 5 that goes through, remember.
The kind of performance that we're seeing from Stephen here is not that dissimilar to what we saw from Snakebite against Luke Humphries. It's a 3-figure average, it's impeccable doubling, and it's tidy.
59.
There's another gear to Bunting, that's for sure. But if he plays this way for 9 sets, or even less than that, he's got an excellent chance of winning this match to make a second
59.
PDC World semi-final. And Peter Wright has actually gone back to the original darts. The experiment has lasted less than a leg.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
134.
Very idiosyncratic of Snakebite.
Have you seen that Top Gun Maverick? You know when he says to the pilots, the F-16 near tops or F-18? Yeah, they all know that back to front. He throws it in the bin. He says, well, the thing is, Peter Wright knows his. He knows what he can do with different situations, but it doesn't mean that's in the rule book. It's only in his head.
Well, on his head be it, I guess. He can't blame anybody else for the equipment changes he either makes or does not. But you and Mace were pointing out that by switching to the dart that won him the World Championship in 2021, it made sense to you because of where it is, what it is, and what's gone before in this past calendar year.
I remember that championship in 2020. He was astonishing. And we were talking on our AS this week, and I mentioned with Wright, balance, control, and precision. He's got them all. He had them against Luke Humphries. In this game, maybe not so much. And Bunting is looking to punish him on 130 on the bullseye to win leg 3. And that is a bullseye that is completely landlocked. It is nowhere near the coast. It was right in the middle.
I thought that was going to go straight through the board into the other side. And Stephen's young son Toby on his feet and wide-eyed and loving it that his dad is up there. Perfection, not just on the outer ring but on bullseye as well.
100.
So he's broken the right throw. That's his second ton-plus checkout of this game, and he's 2 legs to 1 up. Holds throw here. He'll go in at the next comfort break, 2-0 up on talkSPORT 2.
For the want of a better phrase, he's looking bulletproof with nothing to lose. Just let him loose. He's so focused, so much stronger mind now than he has ever been. Earlier in the year, we went to a place called Sindelfingen, just outside Stuttgart, and he was involved in a game where it was 5. And I turned around at the time and I said, this last leg hasn't even started and Stephen's winning this game. Because he was able to get through last leg deciders on the European Tour better than anybody in the last 2 years. Because he's so mentally strong. And technically there, 162 with 3 treble 18s, leaves 146 for the set.
Right back 5. This set is slipping away from Snakebite with every visit. Oh, 2 treble 5s, just drifting left from treble 20.
50.
And a small 20 to follow up. And a knowing look from Peter Wright as he retrieves the darts. Control of this set as Bunting tries to get down from 146.
98.
Well, he's set it up for a 2-dart kill of 48.
He's going to hit that as well. He hasn't missed the dart to double yet. Can Snakebite get to 115 with a 140? Not
100.
quite. So 155 will have to do. And we're already thinking, Dance, that if Bunting goes 2-0 up here, it's going to have to be a fight back from Wright.
Double six. Oh, he's missed it for the first time tonight. And goes inside with his final dart. So an outside chance for Wright to break. But this is a big, big finish. Treble 20 first up. And doesn't get it. 5 left. And another small 20. Is he going to come downstairs? I think he is. Looking at the 19s. Only picks off a single 19. So the doubles percentage has been shaved off a bit. And a bit further as he misses the first dart inside double 4. That's more Bunting, and that is 2-0 in sets. And the bullet and the former BDO World Darts Champion bidding to go deep at the PDC World Championships has clear blue water between himself and Peter Snakebite Wright. Next couple of sets live here on your home of darts on the radio. Stick with talkSPORT 2.
talkSPORT 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
Thank you. Bunting, the bullet, finds himself 2 sets to 0 up in a race to 5. Peter Snakebite Wright in our third quarter-final at the PDC World Darts Championships. Victories earlier today for Chris Dobey and Michael van Gerwen, winning their quarter-finals by 5 sets to 3 against Gerwin Price and Callan Ridge, respectively. But I mentioned that Stephen Bunting is a former BDO world champion. And you wanted to make notice of the fact that he's not the only former BDO champion at these PDC championships.
Yeah, absolutely. As darts fans know, the BDO World Championship is no more. It's actually the WDF Championship. It's a very different thing now. But we have, in this tournament, had 3 BDO champions in the draw. One, Stephen Bunting, who is still in with a shout of getting both. Now, that is something that may mean a lot to him if he was to go on and win it. But Rimmer van Barneveld won 4 Lakeside, won this championship, but at the last Circus Tavern PDC World Championship in 2000. And Christian Kist, of course, who hit the 9-darter earlier in the tournament, the first of 2. So it's just interesting to see how the grand spectrum of the sport is changing. But the bullet is now a better player than it was in the B. For me, ever has been in PDC darts. He's more assured, he's more confident, he's happier, and it's portraying itself on the stage against Snakebite here with the lead.
You are listening to the PDC World Darts Championship with our friends at Village Hotels. Find rooms for as little as £49 in the big village sale at villagehotels.com. Bunting 2, Wright 0. Third set about to get underway, and Bunting will have the darts once again. So if he continues as he has so far, then Peter Wright will be facing a real uphill climb. Kept Luke Humphries at arm's length in that 4-1 victory in the previous round.
This is going to have to be a performance from here. Peter's only averaging 89.5. This is the kind of stuff that we saw from him pre-Worlds a lot over the course of months. So something's got to click, and soon, because there are 2 sets to play before the next break. If something doesn't click, there is a risk that Wright could be out of this game after 4 sets.
Well, he's sticking with the darts he started with. He made that switch to a different set for 1 leg and 1 leg only. And that's why he's got the original set up there, because he started with a max to pressurise the Bunting throw at the start of set 3.
I don't want to go too. That's his first max of the match. Set 3. Did anybody just hear click? Maybe this is where he kicks into gear. We've seen plenty of people lose the first 2 sets and come back. And settle for 4 perfect darts at the start.
100.
Steady ton in the end for Snakebite. Bunting upstairs, the first dart blocked the treble beneath 99. It, but he came back upstairs and found a treble 20 anyway at the end of that visit.
At the start of the walk-ons tonight, they had that remarkable camera going around this famous arena.
96.
I'm not sure what they call it. Is it spider cam?
Yeah.
It just constantly goes around the audience. Well, on the walk-on for Stephen Bunting, it was epic. Just constantly going around him. It was movie-like. It's amazing how things have changed on quarter-final day over the last few years. As Wright goes for 125 and that shot's off, he went for the bull and got a 17. So 108 with 2 can't be done. Single 19 leaves 89, and another single after that leaves 7. He's got a chance for the lead. He sits on 72 after 12.
Treble 20. Well, treble 20's hit. How about double 6 inside it? So double 3 at the bottom of the board, and he's just outside the wire. So there is a chance for Wright to break after that. With the leg off. Treble 18 for double 8. Well, he's coming downstairs. He's looking for treble 10. It's single 10 tops. 1 dart at double top for Peter Wright. And he's 50. Underneath. Route.
Yeah, sometimes he prefers tops. It's usually in the lead up to the World Grand Prix. He's obviously felt something on tops in the practice room. Double 3 for Bunting. Underneath and then just over the top. And a violently thrown last dart to bust it. He is not pleased with that at all.
Nor should he be, because he's let Wright back in for 2 10s. And Peter Wright gets a leg on the board, and it's a breaker throw at the start of set number 3. Maybe that's the motivation that he needs to, as you say, click into gear, Paul Nicholson.
Comebacks have to start somewhere. And if you're 2-0 down in a race to 5, that's not the worst place to start a comeback. Best do it now. You want to make it 3 or 4 down, which nobody would advise.
55.
Be exciting for us if it happened.
Oh, yeah. So, Bunty trying to break back if he can. Slightly ahead after 3 darts apiece. And a hush over. Again, you can hear that this is what you had for
59.
Ryan Joyce against the other day. People were firmly fixed on the darts, and
yeah, this is expectant. They know something's going to happen tonight. They're just not sure what it is. So they're keeping their eyes on the stage, and we're keeping our ears and eyes on the stage for your benefit on talkSPORT 2. They've both been to quarterfinals before, like everybody who's in the quarterfinals this year has been. That's quite rare that we don't have any debutants in the final 8. Bunting has been to 3 before, won 1 match against Krzysztof Ratajski back in 2021. The championship won by Gezi Price behind closed doors.
60.
Wright has been to 6 before, has won 4 quarterfinals, but I think the key thing is he's won his.
Well, he's at the Oki now, trying to come down from 247 to further hammer home that break of throw in the first leg and go 2-zip up in this third set. He's down to a finish of 1-4. coming down to treble 19 at the bottom of the board, and then back up again to 20s, but no treble.
Well, this is not a good set statistically. This might be the scrappiest one of the lot. It could be huge for whoever wins. 80 with the first two for Wright on 147. Went for treble to try and lead tops. Single 9 will have to do to leave 58. We know where he's going to go next. It will be 18 for that tops that he's obviously trying to leave more here in set 3. 191 Bunting.
He goes for the bull and only hits a single 8. So here we go. Will it be 18 for tops? Certainly is. 18 hit, double top for Peter. 2-0. Oh, on the wire, great marker. Great marker. Can he... Oh, that actually goes too far underneath. Will he be back for 210s? Bunting has a reprieve, but now he's got to try and take out 143 to break back.
He's just gone through his process there, where he takes a sip of water, dabs his hand on his towel, then goes through his pre-throw routine. Because he's not played well in this set so far, but the 143 is on. Double 16! Where's that come from? He's played terribly in this set so far, but has just equalised at 1 leg all, and that just goes to prove, if you've got a process, trust it, because you just don't know what's going to happen next. That is one of the hardest checkouts on the double, and Bunting has got his mojo back.
20 treble, 17 double 6. There are startled faces in the crowd, not least in the commentary box as well.
What we should get pretty much every aspiring darts player is then watch up saying, can I buy a pre-throw routine, please? You can't buy one, you have to cultivate it. Stephen has worked on it for years. He was not playing well. He went through his process to start again, and all of a sudden at 143, it was remarkable.
Well, it only brings him level in this third set, and Peter Wright's got off to a decent start to try and balance out what just happened there. He's looking for a second 40 in a row, and he's got it, so he's in a good position. Nevertheless, snake bite in this third leg.
Well, just imagine if you're Peter Wright at this point in time. You're 1-1 in set 3. You've lost the first 2 sets. It takes a weak person to say to yourself, if I lose this set, I'm 3-0 down, I'm in trouble. What he's focusing on right now is winning this leg. That's all you can do. And he's doing a pretty good job. He's left 116. That's what world champions do. Compartmentalise everything into 1 leg at a time.
The man with the mind games, Peter Wright. Hits a 139. He's down to a 2-dart finish of 7. Get a look at it, because Wright wants 116 here. Left, treble 20 will leave double 18. Got it, double 18. Takes for a moment, Wright. Now resets. And can't quite pin double, just over the top.
And here he is again at the table, Bunting, going through the process, the same thing every time. Little sip of water, dabs the hand, then goes position, and then throw. Small 14 leaves 60. 2 darts remain. If he hits tops, he's 2-1 up in the third. And he's hit it again. He is proving a very tough nut to crack. And Bunting is 501 points away from a 3-set against the champion snakebite.
Well, the number 8 seed is doing the business on the outer ring. 50% on his doubles. There was a point early on in this match where he was 100%, but that's unrealistic to keep that going over a long form play or match play tie like this in darts. But 50% is above average, and that's the moment. Final going Bunting's way just now, but you know it's this ability to suddenly win leg after leg after leg. He's done it in match play finals against Michael Smith. Can do it in set play as well.
I think this game's all about patience. play best of 9 sets, you're going to have setbacks. Callan Ridds had setbacks today. The ultimate thing was a setback, but he performed
57.
more than admirably. But these two, Stephen waited about 15 years since he was a kid, and he went through all sorts of stuff before he became world champion. 140 from Bunting to leave 126. Peter Wright waited 25 years from a Lakeside debut in '95 championship in 2020. You can't tell me these two don't have patience. Does Wright have a maximum to leave 24? That was the question, and the big 5 at the end leaves him on 79. If Bunting takes this 126 out after going through the process again, people are going to start copying it because it will be bulletproof for sure.
Up to the hockey, right angle as usual for Stephen Bunting. He hits only a single 19, so he wanted treble 19 for Bull. Couldn't hit that either, so he's just having to lay up 68 left. So treble 19, double 11's the outshot for Peter Wright. Single 19 means 20 for tops. Double top for 2-2. Yes. 2-2, but Bunting will serve out. Looking to go 3-zip up.
That double top there for the 79 checkered for Wright was the best start he's thrown in this match. It had authority on it. That's the kind of throw he needs for the rest of this match. Every dot with a little bit of heat on it. Don't feather it through the air. Give it some sauce. 2-2, set 3 on talkSPORT 2.
97.
Biggest leg of the match so far. It's either going to be 3-0 Bunting because he's got the darts, or if Wright breaks, very much game back on.
Well, we've seen it already this afternoon with players going 2 sets down, but suddenly finding their mojo, as Paul Nicholson alongside me would say. And next thing you know, it's levels your devils. Bunting's only 3-4-4 after 6. A chance for Wright to just steal a march on him here, but 60. He also has a trebleless visit of just completely level pegging on 3-4-4 after 6 darts apiece.
You're right about what happened this afternoon, by the way. Dobie was 2-0 down, then all of a sudden he was 4-2 up, and he could have won the game with 5 straight sets. 44 for Bunting comes down with a trebleless visit to 286. Wright on 344 himself, looking to max to leave 164. He's not going to do that, but he's got a good chance of a 2 treble visit and doesn't get it. That's a Peter treble, and walks away with 2 singles after that. It's still in the balance here.
That's more like it from Bunting with the first dart. Just dips below treble 20 with the second, but a good readjustment for a to leave him on 146 for the set. Right back on 244, less these. And it's a ton. But he doesn't appear too happy with it.
This is so finely poised. Bunting has the first shot at 146. Gets a treble 19, needs another, gets another. 16 for set 3. That was very just on the outside. But if Wrighty can get 144, this would be the finish of the night so far.
Bunty's already got 3 ton plus checkouts. Wright has none at the point, and he won't have one here. Single 20 on the first dart. Cancels out the chance to take out that 3 dart finish. So, for the set, a double that's been good to him in most part so far tonight, and there it is again. 3 sets to 0 to Stephen Bunting. He's 1 set away from the semi-final. 2 sets rather away from the semi-final.
And Stephen needs a new bottle of water because he tends to go through quite a lot during a game. Something that Rob Cross does a lot as well. Dart players should go through plenty of water in small sips. Clarity of thought, good for hydration in a pressure situation. I'll prove this to you, Dance, because earlier on today I was playing in the fans' village with some fans. It was freezing. 15 minutes later, I was too hot, because when you're constantly moving and it heats up the body, you might not perspire, but you need that water for clarity, rehydration. It's And Bunting right now is in dreamland.
Yeah, he couldn't have asked for any more than this at this point. 3 sets to 0 up, needing just 2 more to get through to another World Championship semi-final, this time of the PDC variety. He's won the BDO version.
99.
And Peter Wright, well, he's not looking particularly frustrated. He's not giving much away up there, actually, Snakebite, as to his current feelings.
Well, I have a philosophy when it comes to situations like this. If you're a believer in celestial things, you think, I'm in this position because I'm about to have the comeback of my life. Right, 70, and he misses the second treble 20, meaning Bunting comes back for something that people were drinking last night. Champagne on 132. 8-ton plus checkouts, like you mentioned, Dance. How about a 4th?
Well, he wanted treble 19 for Bull and couldn't find it.
64.
So Wright has a chance to
72.
get set 4 underway by holding the darts. Oh, he went for 16 and hit single 7. 15 leaves Bull. And then what's he thrown there? A single
Got a 3 because he went for a 25. 5 left
24.
with 2 darts in hand. And Stephen's sitting on 68. What on earth?
Well, Dave Chisnell levels of miscalculation, but it's up there. As for Bunty, double 16, he's pinned again, and he's broken the throw from nowhere. And that's Peter Wright's fault.
Yeah, it is. Tactical error from Snakebite. When you got 65, you got 2 darts, you go 15 Bull. Or if you feel a bit fancy, treble 15, double 10. That is a rule. You don't go 25 with 2 darts. It's too risky. And at the minute, Bunting, love affair, 16. So much so, he's got a picture of double 16 in his wallet.
Ryan Joyce is currently paging him. Oh, steady. That's mine, not yours.
Some sort of love triangle between Ryan Joyce, Stephen Bunting, and double 16.
Make for a decent sitcom. I reckon we could get 6 episodes out of it.
96.
You have to call it, yeah, Courseway Eye.
So, Peter Wright against it, big here. Trying to fight back. Looking for what would only be his second maximum of the night. Mind you, Bunty's only hit 1 himself so far tonight. It's his doubling that's been his saviour. And now he's starting on the 19s. He's hit 6 of them. Back up for 20s, but not a from Paul Nicholson alongside me.
Yeah, the first 2 treble 19s there. If you're not thinking clearly, you'll go for the 3rd one. Both at the bottom of the bed. He could actually displace darts by attacking them. He did the right thing there. Went to the 20s, just got a single. These right on 192. Panic stations. This is just good board management from 85 though. Leaves himself on 86. He's a little bit vulnerable here in leg 2 of set number 4.
So what can Wright do to pressurise the throw? Perfect first start in the mid-20. Overcompensates and hits big 5. Only 85 scored.
Stephen, you require 86.
So treble 18, double 16. It's got to be, isn't it?
Absolutely. First start. There's your treble 18. Double 16. There it is again. Absolutely owning it in the bottom left corner. And he is winning this match comfortably and doing it by not expelling a lot of energy. This is not a thriller right now. This is just Bunting owning the spots.
60.
He's basically saying to double 16, doesn't matter that Ryan Joyce isn't here anymore. I'm here to punish you. Very available opportunity. And he's 1 leg away from going 4 sets to 0 up at this next comfort break. And there will be an awful lot for Peter Wright to ponder if he heads backstage the scoreline. And only 45 from Snakebite. He's starting his thoughts. He retrieves the dart whilst Bunty hits treble 20, drifts into treble. Only 95 in the end for the bullet.
Do you know what, Dance? When Snakebite was trying to get back into this match, he'd lost the first 2 sets. And that really scrappy 3rd set was happening. You think to yourself, if Wright can just go up a notch, it should be his set. Then that 1-4-3 went in. since that 1-4-3, Bunting has been somewhat rejuvenated and to keep moving forward.
81 scored from Stephen Bunting. Not quite down to a finish, though. Luke Littler against Nathan Aspinall will follow on from this match for the last quarter-final of this day's play at Alexandra Palace. Mark Wilson and Chris will guide you through that. And then the semi-finals and the final will be live on talkSPORT tomorrow and Friday. And our coverage will start at 7 p.m. on talkSPORT on both nights. And we'll also still have our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel that we're on right now.
Nothing's going right for Peter right now. Nothing at all. Only 44. It leaves 70, but Bunting's on 95 to win set 4 by 3 legs to 0.
Playing up here from 55. Wright does have a finish on, but it's the big fish, the biggest one of all. 170, 2 treble 20s and bullseye. Well, there's one treble 20. Can he group one next to it? Oh, he's just dipped below. Just dipped below.
And you fancy that the set is over now. You don't envisage that Bunting's going to get 40 points with 3 darts.
Well, he's underneath. Double 10. He's inside double. Almost walking. Thought he pinned it. Double 5. Pin. And it is 4 sets to 0. And you know what? Peter Wright might as well use both those sets of darts he's got with him up on that stage. 6 darts. Just to remind everybody that he's 4-0 up.
You know, the anomaly of the season is that Bunting, after 30 Players' Championship events, could have been the #1 seed for Minehead in the Players' Championship finals, having not won a tournament. Because he'd been to six finals.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. He decided not to play in Players' Championship 30 because he felt like he needed a day off. He wasn't feeling 100%. He did the right thing. But Chris Dolby, who won 3 Players' Championship events this year, got the #1 seeding. Not that it did him a world of good because he was eliminated very early. But if Bunting had got that #1 seed without winning a title, that would have been thought of for years. He's got 261. And after that 140, he's got 121 to equalise in set 5. Wright's on 161 though to shut the door.
Treble 20 first order of business. Got that. Treble 17 leaves the bull. 84 left. Hits single 17. So back up to the 20s.
97.
64 left. So to break back in set 5, Bunty wants 1-2-1, which again, you only need 1 treble for this. If it doesn't go quite according to plan. Well, he went bull first. 25 leaves 96, and he went treble 20 for double 18. He wasn't far off.
He leaves double 8, does Bunting, the highest seed of the 2. He's number 8 seed. Snakebite, number 17 seed. He's on 64, and he goes for double 8 and takes it out in 2. That's more like it. 28 darts for the first 2 legs. Has somebody been playing the old... What do they use to wake up the snake? It's the recorder or...
Oh, like a... Yes, I know. Yes, the charmer, the snake charmer. Yeah,
like the charmer's in the building because it looks like snakebite is starting to come alive.
It's like an oboe sounding thing.
That's another good Geordie word, that one. An oboe.
It's precisely why I said it. So, subconsciously I was waiting for you to repeat it. Now, Wright has found his Moor jaw with his second maximum.
Well, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be getting his first set bassoon. Oh, there's a dad joke to start the year.
100.
Oh, cello. He's on a perfect leg at the moment, but that has evaporated with dart 4 just dropping into small 20.
They've both got 3 perfect legs in their PDC careers.
60.
Snakebite's got 2 on the floor and 1 at the 2020 Premier League. Stephen's got 3 9-darters, but none of them are on big stages.
140.
It's a good response from Bunty. Down to 201 after 9 darts, but Peter Wright searching for a set back into this game. Looks handily placed, trying to break the throw again. And he's down to a 161 finish before Bunting gets to a finish.
He's hit some epic 161s in his career. He doesn't necessarily need this 161, but if he takes it, the set will be his, and the fight back would be on.
Bunting's left on 105. Treble 20 hit again, treble 17. He went for this before, and the same result, small 17. And then again the same result going for treble 20 for double 12. Just hits a single.
Now on 105 he's got options here. Decides on the 25 2 double tops route. 25 was good.
65.
And he only just gets the second 20. He nearly bust the score there, Dance.
He did. He was just on the wire above treble 20. Right, 64 again. Oh, he looked for treble 16, hit treble 7. So 43 left, 11 for double 16. Just 1 dart at it for the set. Yes, well done. Peter Wright on the board. And we are going to continue past this comfort break. I'm staying here. Bit Robert Owen. But it's not I'm staying here, it's I'm staying here, says Peter Wright. Snakebite makes it 4 sets to 1 down. Stephen Bunting still just needs 1 more set to advance to the semi-finals. Luke Littler and Nathan Aspinall lie in wait for their quarter-final. But we'll be back shortly with the next instalment of this quarter. Stephen Bunting 4, Peter Wright 1 on talkSPORT 2.
talkSPORT 2. official broadcast partner of the Premier League.
The stars come out to talk on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2. The biggest names in football.
Former Barcelona captain Gerard Piqué.
Hi.
You know you're more handsome in real life.
Blue chip, AAA rated opinion.
And it's a very good morning to Manny Petit.
His achievements, has been
Okay.
magnificent.
Planet-sized players.
The legend that is Peter Schmeichel. I've been very, very entertained so far.
Massive games, massive names.
Sunderland has scored.
talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2.
Don't look at me like that.
On DAB+, online, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker.
The PDC 2025 World Championship quarter-finals.
Live on 2.
Well, Paul Nicholson has just thrown me the filthiest. Sheffield United 0. Steve Huddersall and Mickey Gray, your commentary team, over on talkSPORT now for that championship encounter. Meantime, the World Darts Championship continues here on talkSPORT 2. Stephen Bunting 4 sets to 1 up in a race to 5 against the former world champion from 3 years ago, Peter Wright. But it was 4-0. So Peter Wright now has a foothold in this encounter, Nico.
Yeah, he does. And what he's going to be able to use moving forward, albeit with a lot of work to do, is his best set. He gets the result. He's got the performance level 104.86. His overall doubling is excellent at 7 out of 13. That's 54%. But the thing is, if you are 4 sets to 1 down, you know that your margin of error is very, very thin. He was pointing to the carpet, he was pointing to his chest, saying, I'm not going anywhere. The way he's going to approach this match now is, set at a time, I've got to win 4 matches. Some of those matches I will have the darts, some I won't.
6 set first leg, Peter to throw first.
Well, he has the darts at the start of this set, number 6 of a possible 9. And there will be another break after set number 7, so a couple of sets to play out
57.
potentially here to see where we might be.
I've been scouring my brain trying to think of a sporting analogy that people would understand.
85.
Just to make you understand what this is like for, say, Peter Wright. And I'm sure a lot of our fans with darts on the radio on talkSPORT 2 have seen or heard the Ryder Cup. If a golfer is 3 down with 4 holes to play, this is essentially what Peter Wright's in right now. It's not out of the question, it's just very difficult. And all he can do is win 1 hole at a time. And all Peter can do is win 1 set at a time.
You know, you were talking about that potential sitcom of Stephen Bunting and Ryan Joyce in double 16. Well, David has got in touch using the darts on the radio hashtag.
60.
He said, sitcom titled 3 in a Bed.
Are they good? So it will be Stephen Bunting, Ryan Joyce and double 16.
Who gets top billing? Who gets top of the cast? Double 16. Peter Wright, the number 17 seed. with the darts at the start of this 6th set from 284. Averaged 104, I think, in that last set. And another lovely 140 from him, taking him down to 144 to open his account in this 6th set.
I think if Bunting's going to win this match by a distance, he could use a set like the very first one where he averaged 105. 216. He was forced into going for the final treble there, even though the second one was a bit precarious. 76 left after 12, Wright on 144, which is not going to be found now. He leaves himself vulnerable in losing his throw. He pitches his tent and leaves double 8, but if Bunting finds 76, it could be his set and his match to lose.
56 left, 16 for tops. Oh, he's hit double 16, so he's got to go across for double 12 and misses it. I know he likes double 16, but it's going a bit far.
Yeah, he didn't want that double 16. So the 32 bet has had its say. Double 8 for Peter. Covers it by missing it slightly left. Has to change the angle. Very gettable. Not anymore. He's cut it in half. That wasn't a great dart from Peter. Low and right, and double 4. Missed to the right-hand side, right on the wire. And now Bunting knows that he's got 24.
3 darts in hand for the bullet to go 1-0 up inside it. So across to double 6 at 3 o'clock. Pins that. He's broken the throw, and he's 2 legs away from the semi-finals.
Second leg, Stephen to throw first.
And right now, the George Noble deciding leg curse looks unlikely to repeat itself here.
Incredibly unlikely.
59.
Although Bunty only starts with a 59 visit. So Snakebite, if he gets a good start here, a 2 treble visit, and he's got 1, will pressurise the Bunty throw nicely. Coming downstairs looking for a treble 19 or 17.
97.
Only 97 scored, so a slight advantage, only slight for Snakebite.
Just a few little coughs on the stage from Snakebite, who may still be suffering a little bit from what he had pre-New Year.
Well, they showed an editorial piece on the television where he was still drinking a cold and flu remedy, sachet, with his wife waiting on him, making sure he's looked after.
I think it was quite funny what they did. They showed Joe getting him that cold and flu and passing it to him when he was sitting down. Nah, he'd get it himself.
140.
Now, interesting in this second leg, Bunty trying to get 2 legs to 0 up in this set. And he's only, well, actually he's behind now because Wright has put himself on 169, but it's a bogey number, he can't take it out.
Yeah, he knows it as well. And if Bunting gets 2 trebles down south in the 19s region, he's in trouble. And that's exactly what he gets. Really good thinking from Stephen. 70 left for 2-0 in what could be the last set. Oh, and Wright's got 2 trebles. It's so typical how many times that happens. 137 hit to leave 32. He couldn't do anything more than that from 169, but Bunting could put the nail in the coffin closer to the end.
Treble 18 for double 8, single 18 hit, so 52, hits 12 just, it nearly hit double 12. Tops, well, he's inside tops.
Hasn't looked comfortable in the combinations the last couple of legs. Wright's got to expose that by hitting this double 16 in the second leg. That's just on the outside. That looks a little bit awkward, but it wasn't. He bypasses it easily for 1-1 in set 6.
And breaks back.
Bunting.
So Peter has the darts again after cancelling out that break of throw. So he's not done yet, the former world champion and World Cup dart player for Scotland.
134.
Can you imagine the intricacy that's in his dart shirt, by the way? He's got a Snakebite logo on the back, on the sleeves. Looks like you've stepped into an Aha Take On Me video. And then the front is about as abstract as some paintings you would see at the San Francisco Modern Art Gallery.
Well, it's like the logo of Art Attack with Neil Buchanan 60. On ITV for kids.
Too true.
That's basically what it is. But yeah, that takes a lot of printing ink, I imagine.
You're a collector's item after all.
Bullett's dart shirt, much more straightforward, red and black.
100.
Steady ton for Bunting. And Sunderland are 2-1 up against Sheffield United. Last time I told you it was 1-0 in the Championship. But the Black Cats are now 2-1 to the good. A Luke O'Nien own goal brought Sheffield United level. But Wilson Isidore has just made it 2-1. That's live on talkSPORT right now.
207 Wright. 3-0-1 was Bunting, but 96 leaves him 2 points ahead. Third leg of set number 6. That's a small 5. That's a pulled dart by Wright. The next dart stipulates where he goes with dart 3. 25 off leaves 182. 50. He goes for the bull and gets a 25. So he is on a finish of 157, but Bunting against the throw here has got a really big opportunity of getting a 2-1 lead.
Needs a treble though from 205. Can't find 45. It. Just 45 scored. He's on a finish, but only 160.
Bunting's flagging here a little bit.
Yeah.
He's throwing a few slack darts. If Wright is as savvy as we think he is, this is a set he should really get. Because Bunting's only averaging 90. He can't ask for anything more than that.
So Bunting 160. All on the 20s. One treble is hit. Another one would leave tops. Oh, the second dart just deflects into small 20. Hits tops anyway. Almost with a bit of arrogance to leave himself on tops if he returns, because now that's what Peter Wright wants. And he gets double top. He's held throw when he could easily have lost it. 2-1 up in set 6. Bunting 4 sets to 1 up, only needing one more set to go through.
Win one match at a time. And that match only consists of a best of 5. That's what this is all about. It's all he can do. Every dart player tries to win every leg they play. But if you're a world-class talent like Snakebite or Bunting or the other people in the quarterfinals, you just got to win the situations. At this point in time, position to get within 2. If he can get to 4-3 down at the final break, anything's possible. Anything.
Well, he didn't enjoy his time on the Premier League Jamboree this year, Peter Wright. Bottom of the pile and rarely showed any of the form that we know he's capable of. But here he is, fighting and scrapping and snarling his way through this quarter-final, trying to get a grip on things.
Do you know what he understands better than your average dart player as well? As he watches Bunting hit a 140 to leave 184. If he can stop Bunting from getting 2 legs in a set, he will restrict him to 0 match darts. 3-1-3 for Snakebite. A maximum is needed to get to a finish here. He might get it, and he does. Just got to stop pushing his foot down in that department. He leaves 1-3-3. If he takes it, when he comes back, he will be 4-2 down, but Bunting's back in it. 2 treble 20s and a 16. This now is a very difficult out, but well within his capabilities if he believes.
He's going downstairs. He's not going for treble 20 to start. He's on the 19s. And he's hit treble 19. Staying there, is he? He's going double 19 for double 19, like Dobie did. And he's done a Dobie! What about that to win a set? Paul Nicholson's applauding alongside me.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And for years, me and Chris Mason have wondered why dart players do not start on treble 19 with 133. Peter Wright has just shown the world why you do. Because when you hit 57, you open up double-double. And the double-double is about 2 inches away. That is an iconic 133 checkout. And now Peter Wright has got everybody off their seats. That was phenomenal.
Well, you can hear them singing his name. Got quite emotional, I think, pinning that 1-3-3 Peter Wright.
Well, he's a knife-edge player. He plays on the edge of emotion, has for years. It's one of his strengths
94.
because he plays like his life depends on it. And that finish was just epic.
So we are into set 7 on talkSPORT 2, which we may not necessarily have expected after set 4 was done and dusted, but credit to the former world champion of this tournament.
Just going to go back on what I said before he hit that. It's well within his capabilities of hitting it if he believes he can. He doesn't hit that if he doesn't believe. He believes. He executed a perfect plan, and now you're going to see loads of kids going to their academies in the next few days saying, I want to hit a 1-3-3. Check out just like that. That will become the most fashionable finish of 2025, trust me.
And it's not exhibition darts, it's not showing off, it's good board management.
It's perfect management. He has one shot to take that out, to win that set, to make sure that Bunting does not get to the second leg and then have a chance to win the match. There's so much to talk about with that finish. We haven't got the time, we've got to move on to set number 7.
In which Peter Wright, against the darts, is down to a finish of 104, but Bunting 113 is his outshot here. 93 left. Treble 19 for double 18, and he's inside double 18 by a good centimetre and a half. Bunty may be flagging. Paul Nicholson may be right.
Well, this is for a break of throw. It's 104. It's a lot easier than 133. But you do need a treble, and he's blocked that treble 18 with the first dart. He will persevere because he wants to leave double 16. Dart 2 doesn't get there. It was shielded. He did have another option. He could have gone double 18 bull. He could have gone treble 20 double 13. Board management on that one, I'm going to say 50-50. One is 48 for Wright and 18 for Bunting as he goes for double 4 to win the first leg of the set. And he does.
And he says, I'm okay. He's looking at his son in the VIP, having taken that first leg, and just assuring those in his VIP area that all is well.
Yeah, he was saying to his VIP section, including his manager, his son, friends, his partner, I'm all right, calm down.
Because they'll have looked at Peter Wright's comeback, and maybe they've all started thinking about what happened to Dobie last year against Cross.
Trust me, everybody remembers that game because this place went cold when Rob Cross hit that final double. Nobody wants that to happen to them. It's a horrible, horrible feeling when you're on the cusp of victory
60.
And you see someone overtake you. It is a terrible feeling.
So Bunty, having taken that first leg with the darts, follows up a 140 with a ton.
This atmosphere is just amazing. It's so electric and quiet at the same time. You can almost touch it because they're not sure what's going to happen in this set. Bunting can win the match in this set, but if Wright wins it, there's a break, and then everybody doubts what they were thinking maybe 20 minutes ago.
Again, good board management from Bunting, using bull to get down to 131 after 9 darts. Right, looking at the scoreboard from 204, he can't get down to a finish himself. So Bunty's in control of this leg and a chance to break.
Well, if Stephen takes it 131 in now 2 visits because the small one doesn't aid his cause, then Wright will have to win 3 legs in a row to keep this match alive. That was not a good visit from Stephen. Only 41 to leave 90. He knows that was bad. He's telling himself off right now, but he will soon return to the board after a sip of water, a dab of the hand, and the process starts again.
100.
And he's on 90. Wright is on 84. Can he get within one leg of victory from this shot here?
Bull for double top, brilliantly hit. Superb two-dart kill. Bunting's back, and he's one leg away from victory. A bull for double top. And that is the Bunting we saw in the first 3 or 4 sets, without question there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of volume in that celebration as well. He's just trying to get that adrenaline just lifted a little bit so he can kill this off before there's any doubt.
96.
That adrenaline spike of Wright at the end of set 6, that will have been alarm bells in the head of Stephen. And he's done brilliantly in the last couple of legs to make sure that everybody is doing something neutral in the audience. This is a neutral chant. They're not cheering for Snakebite, they're not cheering for him. This is neutral. This is a position which he can use.
But he's got to try and find some trebles. And he's come up dry with that visit there, Bunting.
Yeah, that was not a good dart, that third one. That came out late. Shoulder was engaged, he was leaning over.
Meanwhile, Snakebite, well, he only finds a tough. Best pleased with that either. So 2 frustrated players up there on stage at the moment, Nico.
Yeah, Bunting just wants to get this finished off. He's got 3, 4, 5. That's a very good ton. He threw all 3 darts very well. Much better than the previous visit. But he's only a dart ahead, not for long. Right on 304, needs 3 straight legs. Otherwise, it's not going to be 3 championships for him since 2020. 210 after 9. 245 for Bunting. This is a doable situation.
Another ton for the Bullet to get down to a finish and a chance to win the match. 145 points away, right on 210. 2 darts above the treble 20.
60.
Well, he's got himself down to a finish of 150, but it may all be in vain. Can Bunting take out a 4th ton-plus finish, and it would be the biggest of the lot after a 143, a 130 and a 101. Treble 20 is the first desire, and he doesn't get it, so will he come back? What's he laying up for?
105.
Well, he's laying up for tops to win the match.
150.
Now Peter Wright needs 150 to stop Bunting from getting match darts. First treble 20 is good, and he doesn't like the way it's sitting. He wants to stay there, but he might be looking elsewhere. He went for treble 18, didn't get it. So now Stephen Bunting is within 1 dart of a second PDC World Championship semi-final, and his first since 2021.
Tops he needs. Well over the top, good centimetre and a half. 2 match darts missed. What about the third? Oh, he's missed that as well. He's split it. Will he be back for double 10? Because Wright now wants 57 to break the throw.
Lifeline for Snakebite as he goes for tops after a single 17 is found. Can he find tops with his last dart? He must. And he doesn't. 2 on the wire over the top. He can't believe it. He keeps looking at it. It's not in, Pete. But now the nail in the coffin might be in.
He bent the wire with those 2 on tops. Bunting wants 2 10s for the win. And he gets it with his 5th match dart. Finally, Stephen Bunting gets over the line and sees off a difficult opponent indeed in the former world champion, Peter Wright. But the Bullet is through to his 2nd semi-final here at Ali Pali. A 5-2 victory with an average of 95 and 3 ton-plus checkouts. There's things you'll want to work on, but the fact remains, he's in the last 4 and in the hunt for another major ranking trophy.
The thing is, it's not an ideal performance. Got to 4-0 up, protected the lead enough to get a 5-2 victory. Started the contest really well, averaging 105 in the first set. Overall, his doubles were good at 43%. But what we've seen from Chris Dobey today, what we've seen from the second quarter-final as well, where Michael van Gerwen was imperious against the brilliant Rids. Bunting knows that kind of performance will not be good enough, whoever he plays tomorrow night, whether it's Littler or Aspinall, but you've got to be in it to win it, and Bunting is still in it. Wright's quest for a third world title, it ends here.
And he's just waving to the members of the audience just next to our commentary position as Wright exits the stage. Bunty's now being spoken to by television. I'm going to nip backstage now and wait to interview the Bullet myself, and you'll see that interview on the